Yo.
To our listeners, a hint and what I call foreshadowing. Okay, you ready, Shaun? Here's the hint. Penthouse rooftop birds I'm feeding. What am I hinting to? Penthouse rooftop birds I'm feeding.
I have no.
Come on, are you serious?
Oh,
You have
is
no
this
idea.
is it like cool in the gang or something?
First of all, it's Nelly. That's Nelly, Shaun. It's getting hot in here, but this lyric, penthouse rooftop,
Yeah.
penthouse rooftop birds I'm feeding.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew where you were going with that,
Yeah, it's very abstract.
but it's not that abstract. It's just that, like, man, Nelly did make putting a Band-Aid on your face cool.
Dude, that was the peak of hip hop. Was that like 2001 ish? No, was that 90s?
I don't know, man. You're the one who was born in the 90s.
I was not born in the 90s, but
Oh yeah, you were you were raised in the 90s.
I was raised in the 80s.
That was good. It was good hip hop. Yeah, Far Side.
What am
Beastie Boys,
what am I
Tribe Called
referring?
Quest.
What am I talking about? What's the hint? What's the foreshadowing?
Oh yeah. So what John is trying to like, I don't know, slide into in a real cool way is that we are doing our very first live recording of We Can Do Better on a rooftop in Hollywood.
Yes.
At Mama Shelter on
Yes.
Saturday, December 21st at 10 a.m.
Yeah, and this will air before. So if you live in Los Angeles or you're close to Los Angeles, 360 views of LA, or probably late morning till about noon. And Shaun and I will be giving out not only love dating advice, but chest bumps.
Chest bumps, fist bumps. We meet at 10 for a coffee hang with you and me, Sarah, whoever else is there. And then we're going to do a special 90-minute episode of We Can Do Better.
Yeah.
Live Q&A.
Yeah.
That's it. Come hang out with us. I mean, you told me a story about Mama Shelter.
Yes.
Mama Shelter's that's the hotel that we're doing the recording at. When I told you that that's where it was going to be, you said
I went on a few dates there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. Shout out to Marie for hooking this up. And I was gonna say, do you want to stay on the? Are you trying to back me into a corner again? Do you want me to stay on the date thing or?
No, whatever you want, man. I've got a lot of things to share on this episode. I'm very excited.
I went on a date with someone there, and it was good. We come back to my place. I thought there was chemistry, and I leaned in for a kiss.
Oh, this is the woman.
Without permission.
Yeah.
This was before. And she turned her head. And I was so confused. Confused because we had dinner. I took her out. I think I took her to a play. It was this whole big thing. Then we were on the rooftop of Mama Shelter. Shit, now I'm thinking about this. Maybe this event might be activating for me. It might be a trigger. I might not be able to do this live event with Shaun.
It might be a corrective experience, John.
It could be a corrective experience, yeah.
You can ask me to make out and I won't turn my head.
Oh, yes. This time I'll ask I'll ask if I can.
I will lean in.
I'll say, hey, can I kiss you? Or I'm coming in. Can I kiss you? Or I'm going to kiss you.
No, I would love to kiss you.
Oh, that's right. I would love to. Yeah. I would love to kiss you. Yes, that is a lot better than can I kiss you.
It's so much hotter, dude. So much hotter.
I would love to kiss you. Yeah, there's certainty in that. So she turned her, and that was one of the only times that someone actually turned there. I felt so kind of rejected, and I was very confused because I felt led on. But then she didn't leave. Then she kind of lingered around the apartment, and then we were like cuddling. But at the same time, she was like, "I'm not feeling butterflies with you," which is fine, but why the mixed messages? But anyway, that's my Mama Shelter story.
You didn't pull out the Korean blanket?
Oh, no, dude. If she had kissed me back, I would have pulled out the Korean blanket.
Here's what's funny. You go on this date, you go to a play, you go to dinner. John's going all out. He's paying.
Always all out.
He goes to the rooftop.
All out, John. Yeah.
Yeah. And then can't even get a kiss. I'll go on a walk date. We'll end up having sex, you know?
That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Can I just say first, John? Dude, you just come to Los Angeles. I just want to put things into perspective for you.
Yeah,
You just
I
you
think.
just came here. Like a
Yeah,
week ago you moved
yeah,
in, right?
yeah, yeah,
And I know you're nervous about like, meeting friends and establishing. Dude, a week later, you're now on a rooftop doing a live podcast. I mean, this is not the average experience of someone coming to Los Angeles. So I just want to say, I mean, this amazing things, are fun, amazing things are just happening in your life organically.
yeah. I will say I am loving my first week in LA.
Hmm.
I have, and I think I need to give myself a little bit of credit here for hitting the ground running.
Yeah,
Like I have made friends, new friends. I have been to
yeah,
badminton club
yeah.
twice. I've been to
Making an
two
effort.
different. I went to Koreatown Run Club, dude. 200 people doing track workouts at the LACC on the Rainbow Track.
Wow.
Met some violin players from the LA Symphony or orchestra or something. Like I'm getting out there. I
Yeah.
went to the bicycle kitchen to inquire about getting a bike. Like,
You're putting in effort. You're putting in effort. You're not just, at your house crossing fingers. You're actually putting in work, is what you're saying.
yeah. Well, I mean, when I went to the badminton club, I was like, I could just stay home. I don't have to do this. And then I
Mm,
walked in, and it was very like walking into a new space where people are playing whatever they're doing at a high level is
yeah.
very humbling.
Yeah.
I don't like not being good at something.
Mm.
And like I walk in there, I'm the only white guy.
Oh, they're all Asian?
They're all
Okay.
Asians and a
Oh,
couple
wow.
Indians. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Um, and I was like, I almost left because I felt so out of place and like
Mm.
not good. And it's hard to see like, oh, where are the beginners? Like, where am I
Yep.
how do I fit in here? And
Yeah.
then I just stuck around and I found out there were some other beginners and we made friends and we played badminton and it was all good.
Well, we probably shouldn't CrossFit together then. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'll be okay. There are beginners there.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
There are
I'm
beginners there. But I will say that LA's been good. I've been like,
Yes.
I've been feeling very good there. It feels nice.
Well, I'm just saying a lot of people come to LA and it's big, it's spread out. They know no one. They feel alone. They get depressed, that whole thing. And you are hitting the ground running. Things are great.
Yeah,
Lots to
I think
do.
it could be very motivating for people who are like scared of moving. Like you can move to a new place. Of course, I know some people in LA it makes things easier, but
Yeah.
you could move to a place where you know nobody and like go to meetups,
Hmm.
find things that you're interested in, like put yourself a little outside of your comfort zone.
Yes. Podcasting on the roof. Can
Okay,
I just?
so really quickly to
Yep.
close the loop on that,
Yep.
link in bio to RSVP. You have to RSVP.
Yes.
We have limited seating.
It
Like,
is
we're not-
free.
this-
It is free, but you have to RSVP.
It's free, but you have to RSVP. Space is limited because we want to make it kind of intimate.
Yep.
So go to the link in the bio, or in the show notes.
Can I do a little behind the scenes as you think about this event? I love the fact that it's just we thought about it. It just naturally fell on our lap, and we're just doing it. What's coming up for you as far as when you think about executing this? Are you nervous? Are you feeling good, confident? What are the feelings that are coming up?
Oh, well, pretty excited. I will say that it is soon. We had the option
Yeah,
of doing it on the
very soon.
21st or the
Yep.
28th.
Yep.
And I was pushing for the 28th because I like more time for prep.
Yep.
John was pushing for the 21st because he builds the bus while it's
He's
driving. However, I don't even know how that works, but
The bus is not driving. I'm building the bus while I'm driving it.
right. Again.
It's just a saying. Shaun.
Yeah,
It
no,
doesn't
it
have
makes
to make
sense.
Yeah.
So, but we chose the 21st and I didn't push for the 28th really. Like it made more sense for you. And I'm happy to like try something new, which is to do something without overthinking.
Well, it wasn't just me, Shaun. It was the audio person. There was a couple other things that swayed us into the 21st. You weren't doing this for me.
That's true.
Don't say you weren't doing it for me.
I'm going to say I was mostly doing it for you.
All right. Well,
Well, I was doing it for you and Ease because if Sarah couldn't do the audio and the video, then we'd have to find somebody else.
but then if I did the 20th, I would need childcare. So there was some logistics, right? So
There's
we just
some
picked
logistics.
The 20, yeah, we just picked the 21st.
I feel great about it. I'm nervous, but
Yes.
I've never done a live podcast before.
So what I'm nervous about is, I feel like we're gonna get up there and we're gonna have to do more dancing. We're gonna have to do something to entertain them because I feel like these conversations via podcast, someone listening while they're doing the dishes or going on a run, they work because we're in their ear. But on a rooftop with a lot of people in front of us, I'm going to feel very insecure. Like we're not delivering enough. Like just us talking is not going to be enough for them to find parking and drive up, come to
I think it is. I think it is. Plus they get to hang out with us. They get to meet us beforehand. Also
Okay.
bring your dishes. I don't know, like
Bring your dishes. Okay. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to just be social, get out of the house and meet some cool, like-minded people. So
I think it's going to be good for you to not like overperform and to just trust that just a conversation between us is interesting enough for people for 90 minutes on a Saturday in LA on a rooftop in Hollywood. Like the whole scene is cool.
yeah.
Right?
So when you say overperform, you mean like not tie worth to like the external, or be trying to be someone I'm not.
Or extra shiny, or which is it's
yeah.
kind of what people do on dating apps, right? Or in early stage dating, they try to like impress the other person because they want the other person to like them instead of just being them, being you, and me being me, and letting people just connect with that in whichever way makes sense for them.
So no break dancing, John Kim. You don't have to dance. You could
We don't have to dance.
You don't have to
People,
dance.
and we're gonna do more Q&A. We're gonna do. It's a 90-minute episode, so we're gonna take questions from the audience.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it'll be fun.
Engagement.
It's cool. It's like I have some like a logistical anxiety, and you have some more like performance anxiety.
I have zero logistical anxiety. I don't give a fuck about any logistical audio stuff. I do care about as far as like what we're delivering. Is it worth people coming up there for a Saturday morning hanging out with us?
Dude, it's free, first of all.
Yeah, it's free, but parking, and then
there's parking on the
elevator
street.
ride to the
Street
top
parking.
floor. Street parking, yeah.
Link in bio or show notes to RSVP. Seating is limited.
All right.
Saturday, December 21st, 10 a.m. Don't be late, because once we start recording, that's it. We're not gonna stop for you. Okay, John, I have something for you. This is just for you.
Yep.
I hope it helps.
This is more a comment than a question. I just want to say that every time John says that he's dominant and kinky, it's just, man, it like lights a fire in me. And I know you're married and everything, so I mean, and good for that. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that when you say stuff like that, girls start thinking about you. Okay, bye.
Damn.
That's for you, John.
Thank you for that, Shaun. I'm kinky as fuck. I got the dark side to me. I like using ropes and sorry.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, really? We got to dig in.
Shaun, I think you should have had some coffee before this episode. There's a lot of things I'm throwing that's going over your head, or maybe it's me.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's set the scene. I'm in Montreal.
Oh, I know what's happening. You're not taking the nicotine. That's what's happening.
Okay, a couple of things are happening. First of all, I flew out of LAX at 8 a.m., which means I had to leave my house at 6.
Right. So you've been up all morning. This is the end of your day. Got it.
I woke up at 4 something.
Right.
Right. And it's now here at 6:30. Right. So I was on a plane, traveling, all that shit.
Yeah, you're like an exhaust pipe right now, which I know that reference makes
I'm an exhaust pipe. I haven't had coffee. I am not using nicotine.
Yes.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to check in about that. It's been a week.
The wheels have not fallen off. So yes. So it's that makes sense.
Well, I think also is why I was like getting out of the house and doing the run club and doing this and doing that, because I had to do something, or else I would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
I would have been to the smoke shop, and there are so many smoke shops in LA.
There are. Yeah, there's on every corner, man, like a liquor store.
They're everywhere.
Yeah,
they're everywhere. So if I'm struggling, it's not enough to hide myself, to hide all of the substances.
Yeah,
I have to be strong with them in my presence.
Got it. Going back
So
to women having fantasies about me.
yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, of course.
I'm just kidding, but thank you for that. Also, hey, what a gift for Shaun to instead of, hey, this is great. This is a great example of a good friend, because a lot of times guys are competitive. You didn't have to, because I would have never known. You didn't have to play that for me. You could have been like delete. You could have been like fuck this, delete. Right?
It's nice though. Like when you say that you're kinky or dominant or talk about any of your stuff, it turns some women on.
I have not received a compliment like that in many years. So thank you. I mean, besides from my partner, like from from the world. So I appreciate that. Men need things like this. I mean, we all do, right?
You're welcome. And is this a surprise that there are people fantasizing about you?
A little bit, sure. I also
'Cause
wonder if the fantasy is the whole kind of like, oh, he's a professional, he's a therapist, but like the whole like taboo, like the hot for teacher thing, like
yeah, fucking your doctor or something.
yeah. Maybe part of her fantasy is like, oh, he's a therapist, but he's got this dark side that makes it kind of interesting, as opposed to, if I was just like her neighbor or something, she'd be like, oh, that's ridiculous, get away from me.
Yeah, but you're also a hot dude. Yeah, like of course how we are impacts people and their fantasies, but you're
Yeah.
also a hot dude, Like I'm gonna say it. You're hot, you're buff, you're tatted up.
Thanks, man. I don't see
Y-
myself that way, but thank you. I'm trying to receive more these days, so I
I,
thank you for that.
I will say you're welcome. I will say that you are like fairly self-deprecating.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
thing, man. That's my
Like if I
brand.
compliment your
That's
tattoos,
my-
you're like, yeah, my mom hates them. I look like I have dirty arms, or oh, my hair. It's like, dude, just take the compliments. And
I don't know where that comes from, but yes, I bat away compliments, or I minimize a lot, especially when it comes to things like that, for sure.
well, you did
I've
good.
always been that way.
You said thank you. I think it's also pretty common for people to really struggle
Yeah.
with receiving compliments. I think the reason is that like we're not used to being seen, because that's what's happening when someone's complimenting you, right? They're seeing you. They're seeing beauty in you.
Also,
And
if you're not
maybe
used to getting them often,
right.
it's a bit uncomfortable, you know. That's okay. You're back.
No, you're back.
Oh, you were frozen on my side.
You said not used to getting them often.
Yeah, sometimes if people who are not used to getting compliments often, it's uncomfortable for them. They don't know how to take it. They don't know what to do with them. They don't know how to receive. So
Why?
yeah,
Why is it uncomfortable?
because
Like,
you're not
what
used
about?
to it. Because you're not used to it. It feels very strange.
Yeah, but what about that is strange?
The fact that it's very once in a while, So if I get a compliment like that, it's not a daily thing I get. I don't go to the coffee shop and someone says, I don't walk into rooms and turn heads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, if I did, if I was like a model or something and that was my life, then it's just another day. But I write self-help books. I'm not saying that I'm like some weird ugly dude, but I just kind of see myself as an average John. So when I get compliments like that, or someone finds me attractive and expresses it, I'm not used to it, so I get all weird. I get a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. Yeah.
Well, you're not even average, John. You're an angry therapist. Like that's the way you see yourself, right?
Yeah. I don't know what
That's
that
like
makes me when you say not average. Does angry make me lower or less than or more than?
well,
Above average or below?
well, I don't think you're average. I don't think you're an average dude, Above, John. You're an above average man, I think.
Thanks.
If I were to
Thanks, man.
classify you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm used to getting compliments. I've been getting them. I read my comments. I read my DMs.
Hey, you're gonna straight up get hate for that. I guarantee.
I will not. I will
Sean
not.
is fucking arrogant, and why does he keep saying no? But you're just.
I think my ego's not. I don't think my ego's out of balance. I think it's present.
I think you're just. I think you're just telling us your experience on this planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. As am I. No judgment.
I'm not gonna get hate. I think I have a healthy ego. It's maybe a little bit on the big side, but I don't think it's like damaging to me or others.
Yeah. I mean, I have an ego too, but no, I don't think you're someone who brags. But you just speak truth in your experience of the world. So
yeah.
All
right, John, we have another thing. We have another thing to announce.
Yes, we are doing another in-person event. We're doing a retreat together.
I'm so excited about this. We're doing it. We've rescheduled the event that we were going to do in January. We're doing it in February.
It's like we're dating and everything's happening so fast. It's like when someone says "I love you" too quickly, and we're like,
"I'm okay with this."
Live events, rooftops, retreats in the woods. I mean, there's so much happening so fast. I'm going with it, man. I'm in it for the ride, Shaun.
So February. This is again. So 14th. Can I do it?
Yes. Yeah. You do it. You do it.
February 12th, 13th, and 14th. You hear that, everybody? A Valentine's Day retreat weekend with John and Shaun called Love Thyself.
Yeah.
A winter retreat for singles. This warms my heart so much.
I think it's great, man. I love the fact that the commercialized holiday that is built on, expensive chocolates and it's so I hate Valentine's Day for that reason. You can't get into restaurants and it's a shit show. That we're going the other way. We're getting out of the city, going into the mountains and celebrating loving self, and also providing a space for singles where Valentine's Day can be challenging and activating, all that. So 100%. I love the mission behind it.
Yeah. So Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, connecting with like-hearted, like-minded people.
Yeah.
We're going to do workshops on emotional availability, on holding space for self and with others. It's going to be community, great coffee, food, queen-size beds.
Queen-size beds. I also can predict with this retreat there might be some people meeting up maybe when they go back to their beds, and we'll see. I don't know.
Hot tub.
I don't know. There is, but I'm just saying that this retreat, because it's a lot of singles, and also Valentine's Day, it might be a little like summer camp when you start having crushes on people and you're sinking out of your cabin. I can see a little bit of that energy.
Hey.
But there's going to be nourishment. There's going to be a safe space. There's going to be a chef, and it's going to be all the things, man. It's going to be amazing.
We're going to do a little outdoor therapy. We're going to do a little cold plunge. I'm excited about that.
It's gonna be great. It always is. It's gonna be very therapeutic, somatic, and processing. And also, the way that Shaun and I roll, it's just casual over clinical. So we're just gonna have a great time.
Cozy.
Yeah.
Very cozy.
Cozy. Shaun's not only a feeler, but he's a toucher.
I'm a toucher and a feeler with consent. But
with consent, yeah.
I'm picturing the fireplace is roaring. We got slippers. We're drinking coffee and hot cocoa.
God, you and I should go get some fucking robes.
Onesies.
We should, or onesies.
Yeah, animal onesies.
Yeah, make it cozy. I'm down. Let's get ridiculous.
Okay, wait. I think we should have a onesie like party.
Dude, should we get these cheap onesies and then send that Amazon link of that onesie to whoever jumps into the retreat so they could all be in onesies? Matching onesies? I think
we should let people get their own
onesie.
Oh, yeah, it's like a surprise.
Idea.
Yeah. What are they going to show up in? It could be an old onesie from childhood. Well, they're not going to fit in it, but it could be whatever they want. So we're going to have a onesie party.
This just in. I didn't know, but that's a great idea. I love it.
February 12th, 13th, 14th. Space is limited.
Yes,
link in bio. Link in the show in the show notes. I'm pumped, and this feels like a corrective experience also for us to be doing this after our little rupture about the last retreat.
I mean, I wouldn't even call it a rupture. I would call it miscommunication. I guess there was a little rupture. We talked about it on the podcast, but feelings were slightly hurt, and then we talked about it, and then it was definitely a corrective experience.
Yeah. So I'm super excited. It's going to be really fun to spend Valentine's Day. I usually am spending Valentine's Day with my male friends. We go skiing, but we're not doing that this year. So I'm available, and this is going to be fun.
God, it's going to be amazing. Hey, Speaking of corrective experiences, one of the things, not to get off therapeutic, but I want to express this because people who are listening, they might take something from this. I'm all about the dropping into your body and having the corrective experience, as I say. And one of the reasons why I build the bus while I'm driving it is because I want to get to the experience as fast as I can. And so the rooftop thing for me, if we do that, I want to have this moment where I'm sitting there with you and we're on top of this roof in Los Angeles, and there's actually, I wouldn't say a sea of people, but there's people in front of us, right?
A
And I
pond
want a little plastic bathtub, the kind that your creepy uncle
of
buys you.
people.
Yeah. But I want to, in my body, feel like, oh, this is what it feels like to do a live podcast, because I've never done a live podcast before. Shaun, I'm assuming you haven't either. And that's going to lay tracks for a lot of our goals, whether it's in studio or just having a live audience. We've never had one. And so I want my body to experience that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I love that you want the experience and you're not willing to let logistics or fear or anxiety get in the way. You're just going to you will make it happen. You'll figure it out along the way to have that experience.
I also believe that when your body feels that experience, it then knows it and it starts to attract it. Do you know what I'm saying? Instead of like this whole vision board thing where you're just imagining what you want, you give your body the experience of this can happen. And then your body's like, oh, I'm going to gravitate toward, I'm going to attract, I'm going to manifest this feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of experiential learning. That's why I'm back in Montreal to do the therapy program, the somatic therapy program. We have another module Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm a big fan of that. But it's funny you mentioned mood boards or vision boards. I signed up this morning at 4 a.m. I woke up and I woke up like an hour before my alarm, but I couldn't go back to sleep.
Mm.
And I was reading Substack, and one of my friends recommended this woman who does a little course on vision boards. And I signed up just like spontaneously. So I'm going to do a vision board at the end of the year for 2025.
Love it. I think that's great.
I can share it with you guys after.
Yeah. I think any tool that helps you build, attract, manifest it's all good,
They use the term manifesting, but lightheartedly.
You seem like someone who in life stumbles onto things that are great.
Like this podcast.
Our
relationship.
A
little town called Los Angeles.
Yeah.
33 million people.
You're just always stumbling into things. The drifter.
I'm a drifter. Yeah, I'm a nomad.
Yeah.
Let's take a left turn here.
Let's do it.
How do you feel about antidepressants?
Oh, that was a U-turn, not a left turn. That was a straight up U-turn.
Oh, yeah? We just went the other way?
We just totally went the other way, but that's okay. Antidepressants, so just in medication in general, I feel like it shouldn't be the solution. It is a tool. So if it comes with therapy processing and then you're using antidepressants or any kind of medication as a tool, I think they can be very powerful. But if you're just wanting to swallow pills to make something go away, then I think that can be unhealthy, even if it's prescribed by a psychiatrist.
Yeah. So you're saying it for it to be most effective, it could be paired with other forms of therapy.
Listen, if you're taking antidepressants, chances are you're depressed. And so if you're depressed, you shouldn't just take pills to equalize or balance, your brain. You should also be processing feelings and talking about things. So I think because I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say medication is bad. A lot of therapists think that they're unhealthy, but some people, their lives have changed significantly, or they're able to get out of bed because of antidepressants and other.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's with therapy is like a responsible, proactive choice. Just antidepressants or just medication can be an addiction, can be just a drug,
Yeah, or a crutch or something.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up is because I posted something on Substack some weeks ago, where I had like sort of shared a conversation that I had with my therapist, because sometimes I feel depressed and low, and I call it blue.
Yeah.
And I talked to my therapist and I go, yeah, what do you think about antidepressants? And she said, oh, like a little white pill to make everything feel better. And it wasn't like she wasn't shaming me. She was just literally just a question. Like, is that what you're looking for? And I was like, well, honestly, that sounds kind of nice, you know?
Yeah.
And then we talked about it and she was like, I'll be honest with you. I think that your depression in this circumstance and in the time that I've known you is very circumstantial. It's based on factors that are happening in your life. And when you get out of those factors, you feel better. Right. So before LA, for a month there, I was home, like, I don't want to say homeless. I didn't have a place I called home. I had left Montreal. I was in a hotel. I was house sitting at a friend's house. I was like living out of boxes. I felt not good. And I was using nicotine and that doesn't make me feel good. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't eating well.
Right.
And when I posted that, I got a lot of pushback from people. They're like, oh, your therapist is terrible. She's a red flag. You got to get a new therapist. I can't believe she's shaming you. My medication saved my life. Like, it really took a turn for the worse.
Lots of judgment, of course, but that's just anything you post about, you're going to get judged in some way. I think it's uniquely to the individual and what works for you. So whether it's medication, combination of that therapy, like, I just think it's unique to the individual. So
yeah.
Do you have a history of depression?
I have a history of drug abuse.
Yeah.
And actually, I feel like all the ecstasy that I used when I was 16 or 17, 18, from 16 to 20, 24, has has long-term effects on your serotonin, dopamine receptors and all that stuff. And so I think, I don't know if it's not clinical, might not be clinical depression, but like I feel a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel high and sometimes I feel low.
There's also something called dysthymia, which is a mild grade, kind of a mild depression. It doesn't mean you're functioning and stuff, but you're just kind of grayed out. I actually struggle with not depression where you can't get out of bed, but I get depressed often. Sometimes I think I have a hint of bipolar where I'm on cloud 9 and I'm the most today was an amazing day. I feel so much gratitude. In 2 days, we're filming something at my house that I've been waiting years for, and it's happening. So I have a lot of like energy and I'm excited. But then maybe tomorrow at night I dip and then I get into this kind of dark headspace and I get very discouraged and hopeless. I think some of it comes from my dad, watching him, or I don't know if I'm a little bit bipolar, but I maneuver in extreme. So I definitely have struggled with mild depression.
My therapist was saying, and this is just one person's view or perspective on this, but some of these drugs, they will attenuate the lows, right? But they attenuate the highs also. They kind of attenuate. It's like earplugs, right? Some of the ones that you wear at concerts, you could still hear the music, but it's not as high and it's not as low.
Oh, yeah, it stabilizes you. Right.
It just makes it more manageable.
Right, but then I feel like then you're not able to hit high notes.
Yeah, but if the lows are so low that you can't get out of bed,
then it's worth it.
Then it's worth it. And so I just want to say this to everybody who is taking antidepressants or medication to manage your mood and your mental health. Like, zero shame on this.
Yeah.
From either myself or John.
And anything that works for you, zero shame. But you got to be honest with yourself, and know if whatever you're taking, it could be antidepressants or it could be dick pills. It doesn't matter what it is, that there isn't a dependency, that it's not unmanageable or uncontrollable, that you're not using it to numb.
Yeah. And use it with a doctor's supervision.
Yes. Don't go get on the street corner.
And, every drug has a side effect.
Yeah, for sure.
There are no side effectless drugs.
Yeah. Coffee.
Right? Like
caffeine.
Can't sleep. Jittery.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I'm not taking finasteride or Propecia for my hair is because it affects your it can affect your libido, and it does
Mhm.
affect your hormones. And I'm not willing to take those, to accept those side effects for the benefits of a
Right.
beautiful hairline, a nice fuller hairline.
Why did you go deep and sultry and
I don't know.
sexy boy? Are you feeling good about your shaved head now? That's old news. There's no
It's not
more.
old news, man. It's
You
not old
still,
news. I'm a vain man.
yeah. Okay.
But it doesn't seem to really be affecting much. You know what I
Yeah.
don't know is the effect that it has on my online dating profile.
Or
There might be women that are just like,
your
nope,
photos updated? Or are you posting photos of when you had hair as a false advertising?
both. But I also say in the profile, 6 foot, rocking a buzz cut, so they know that's the most.
Are you 6 feet?
Yeah,
Oh, wow, nice.
6 feet,
Yeah.
5 and something inches.
Are we talking about your penis now?
Yeah. Hey,
That
have you
was a
heard of?
little TMI, by the way.
Ha,
Should
have you
that
heard
be
of
on your bio?
666? What women are looking for these days? They're looking
No,
for
that sounds like some kind of demonic thing.
hail Satan. Women are looking for, not all of them, of course, a man who's 6 foot, who has
Oh,
6
it's 6
inches at
inches.
least,
Yep.
and 6 figures.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's the
Six
minimum, dude.
6
That's the
inches at least.
minimum.
Oh, that's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
Okay.
You can't ride
Okay.
this ride unless you're 666.
All right. So what are you bringing to the table then? If you want a 666, what are you bringing to the table?
For a second, I thought you were asking me.
No, I'm talking about anyone who is requiring
666.
6 figures, a 6-inch penis, or a 6-inch, 6 feet tall person.
Yeah.
Anyone who is saying that is what I will not negotiate, but that's what's required to get on this ride. My question to you is, well, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, I know my worth, John.
Oh, and what is your worth? Because to me, it feels
I know my worth.
It feels superficial that you are requiring height, length, and some kind of salary. Yeah,
It's 6 inches, but it's real thin.
it's a chopstick. It's a chopstick.
No, that's a good question. I think that would be a fair question to ask if someone said, I just have no idea how to answer. I don't know how the type of person who requests this, I don't know how they would answer that question. No idea.
So when you say you're 5 inches, 5 inches plus, is it skinny or is it thick?
It's a good girth. It's a good girth.
Oh, see, then that's good.
It does the job.
I think people, yeah, okay. So people prefer, I think, girth over I think women prefer a 5-inch penis that's a little thick than a 8-inch penis that's very skinny. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there aren't skinny 8-inch penises. I've looked for skinny penis porn. It doesn't really exist.
You've typed in skinny penis porn.
Yeah, thin dick. I want to see what thin dicks look like.
Oh,
they just don't, not at that size. It does.
No.
It's like proportional.
It's not fair that the longer I feel like I feel like if it's long, then it should be skinny.
It should be thin.
You can't have it all. You know what I'm saying? You can't have 8 inches in a soda can.
Well,
but then again,
what I will say, very few people do, but some people do, and they're called size queens.
Well,
did you know this?
They're definitely not for me. They're definitely not for me. Size queens. I didn't know that's a term.
Yeah, size queens.
I could see the fascination. I could see even for and I'm not gay, but I see the fascination of a giant penis, kind of like the fascination of like if you're at a museum or if you're looking at something that you're very curious. It's kind of like wonder.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily want to stick it in my mouth or anywhere else. I have no desire.
Well, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's not all. Let me tell you, as someone who doesn't have one, it's not all that it's cracked up to be.
Every woman I've been with has said, I don't like baby arms. I have tried. I don't like
John.
Yes.
Baby
that
arms?
is that not supposed to? Is that?
We retired that.
Oh shit! Sorry. What did we say again? What is it? What's the correct term for?
Huge cocks? I don't know. Big
Okay.
phalluses?
Wait, why is baby arms bad?
Thick veiny penises?
Because we're bringing a baby.
Yeah, we
into
don't
the conversation?
children.
Okay.
We don't talk about
Yeah.
children and
Okay.
sex. I think it could be painful.
It
There
is
can be
painful.
some cervical striking.
It is. It's on every level. It's from what I hear from women. It's painful. It's not realistic. It's not sustainable. It's but you're right. There are some people with that kind of fetish, size queens, as you say.
Yeah, and we're not also like, hey, homies with big cocks, like, way to go. No shame.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of guys are very fascinated, heterosexual guys, very fascinated, and I think more so than women, and obsessed about having a big cock. It's more men who are more wanting it than actually women.
Do you know about these? This is crazy. Do you know about these this penis enlargement surgeries?
No, I know you could go to Turkey for that's the go-to for hair transplants, but is there a place for penises?
It's in LA actually.
Oh, what do they do?
There are different types of them, and then we'll move on. I'll take some questions, but
Yeah.
I read this crazy article about this one type of. It's called the pneuma or pneuma something.
What do they do?
Penis.
Did they take something from your ass, or how do they?
No, it's an implant. It's a plastic implant that they sew into your cock. They flip your cock inside out. They like cut it, flip it, and then they insert and sew this mesh, and so it gives it more girth and length, and it's terrible. And there's like horror stories.
I can imagine.
And then people are getting them removed, and then the penis ends up being shorter than when it started, and it's just like they've lost sensation. And there's pumps that you can like manually. There's like a valve that it's not good.
Why haven't they figured out, especially today in the advancement, like breast implants today, you can't tell the difference. They have things, I think they're called gummy bears, where if you feel it, it's so refined and amazing. It's not like the old days of this, they feel like rocks. And there's so much advancement when it comes to like plastic surgery and all this stuff, but they haven't figured out the whole penis thing.
Well, the penis is an organ in a way that the breast is not.
Well, the penis is like a balloon. It's not a muscle. It's like a it fills up with blood. So you're right. It's hard to.
It has functions.
Yes, it's hard to enlarge.
It's hard to enlarge.
Yeah. You can't just throw a plastic bumper.
Well, they tried.
Yeah. That's
link in the show notes to read the article about the pneuma. It's a crazy. I think I listened to a podcast driving across the states, and it was riveting. Questions? Should we do questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
How about questions from guys? Because since we're talking about dicks,
All right. Last thing about dicks. If there was an enlargement that was healthy and that wasn't going to it had the same kind of what's it called, like breast implants, the same kind of side effects, right? Like that, right? Would you
consequences?
Yeah, same kind of
effects.
Consequences. Yes, about the same as breast implants, right? Would you enlarge? Would you?
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
I don't know, man.
I would like 1 inch. I would.
Yeah.
I just want 1 inch. I don't want. I don't want 8 inches. I just want like 1 more inch.
Yeah. I'm like not gonna make a joke.
Did you have a good one?
Not really.
Okay, well that's it.
What would an inch give you, John? Not in terms of numbers, but like feeling wise.
Well, I've always been insecure about my penis.
Yeah.
I just ruined the fantasy of the girl that called in and said, John talking about kink is kind of hot. I just ruined it for her, maybe.
No, you didn't. You're a real guy.
I've been insecure about my height and my penis since I was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got circumcised late.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah, because I look different, and so I'm 5'8", and my I don't actually want to be 6. I want to be about 5'11". That's like my ideal. I just want to be a few, and then penis just 1 inch. I just want 1 inch and just a tad little thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me send you this podcast on the pneuma penile enlargement.
I wouldn't do it unless we have advanced so much where there's low risk and low consequences.
I don't think it's going to happen in your lifetime.
Yeah, but it would be attached to an app. You'd be able to adjust it on the app and stuff.
I don't want that in my penis, man.
Adjust my penis app. You have the Adjust My Penis app?
I don't want that. I think the spiritual path is to just accept the fact that we.
No, I am getting there, and I gotta say, at 51, I'm closer to acceptance of who I am more than ever before, of course. But it has taken a long time to get here.
But it's a journey. Acceptance is a journey, and so is letting go.
Yeah, and also, your insecurities you'll probably die with. No, they don't just go away. They're so ingrained, and so
some of them go away.
Sure, but I feel like sometimes what we're insecure about, whether it's intellect, hairline, salary, whatever, sometimes they're just with us forever. They just kind of fluctuate.
I think self-work and spirituality are the two ways in which we could overcome some of these things.
Yeah.
And I think the more spiritual we become, we haven't really talked about spirituality. We should dive into that at some point.
No, because you and I are both spiritually dead.
Well,
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. I'm very
Hey, everybody, listener, send us your questions about spirituality, please. And also, guys, we'd like to hear from you more. This is an invitation to the men out there.
I don't even know if any men listen to this.
They do.
We talk about dicks too much. I can't imagine.
No, they do. And why would you say that? Now you're making it sound like the guys are listening, that we
the 3 that are listening.
No, there's more than 3.
Okay, good. I want to throw a net out to men. I want men to listen to this.
Hey guys, we love you. Also, Gen Z, we love you. Just because John called you guys aliens doesn't mean he doesn't love you. He just doesn't know how to relate to you.
I just think that you need a rite of passage, some kind of initiation. That's missing.
I think you guys are great. You don't need a rite of passage. Just your Zoomers, your messengers of God. It's all
you
good.
guys overthink too much. Never pull the trigger. Go mow a lawn. Go get a job serving. You gotta earn some shit.
I mean, I do agree that we should all, as everyone could work in the restaurant industry for at least 6 months before you go eat at a restaurant.
Everyone should. You will be humbled. You will know what worth ethic is and what it takes to make $1. Also, social skills. That should be required to graduate college. Is go be a server somewhere.
Yeah, as a hot take, I like it, but I think realistically, there are people that are just not cut out for restaurant work. And that's okay. Like artists, people who
not to make it your career though. It's just to get a glimpse of what it's like to just work. What it's like to make $60 after 5 hours of being on your feet. Like, people need to feel that. This is what I'm talking about. I don't think Gen Z, and this is a broad stroke and a generalization, I think most of Gen Z will never experience that kind of work.
No, I don't know. There's still a lot of restaurants out there.
They're building apps and they're trying to scale, and they're considering so many other options and what's the best. They're not just going out and just putting themselves into experiences that are uncomfortable.
I don't know. I don't know enough Gen Zers to know what their path is. I mean, it's great. I just don't think that everybody can build an app, and so and that there are a lot of retail jobs and food service jobs that need employees, and a lot of them are going to be Gen Z. Like, I think they're probably more than we know are working in retail and doing the traditional path. But there's more opportunity now than there has been, and there's more get rich quick stuff. There's always been get rich quick. It used to be like real estate videos. Now it's like meme coins, and it's like it's instant and it's in your face all the time, and it's way more appealing. And wealth is thrown in our face. We have access to what wealth looks like on our phones 24/7. We didn't really have that growing up.
No, and you
drive by Bel Air and be like, "Oh, those are the big houses." That's it. Like,
right now they're your neighbors. You're right. Before, you would see someone wealthy, they were like celebrities, like they were over there. It's good to see them, but I'll never be like maybe like that. But now people are wealthy and they're on your Instagram, so
they're on your phone and they're on a boat and they're doing all sorts of shit and they're showing you literal piles of money. Like we never saw piles of money. We saw it like in like a
rap videos,
rap videos or like a cocaine kingpin movie or something.
Yeah.
Now we see it
a
everywhere.
lot of that is false advertising. So
yeah,
a lot of it's staged. Anyway.
All right. Anyways, get a job, wash some dishes, and then and guys, send us your questions, and women too. Everybody, send us your questions. You ready?
Yes. Good.
Speaking of, this is a better question. Speaking of Zoomers, you ready?
Yeah.
Hi, Shaun and John. My name is Destiny. I'm 25, and I am calling from upstate New York. Huge fan of the show. My question is, what do you do when you find yourself attached to someone who doesn't want the same lifestyle as you? So I've been dating a man for about 2 months now, and it's going really well. We feel super healthy and fun and mature. We're both very honest about how much we're enjoying it and enjoying the connection that we're building together. However, we recently just realized that we don't want the same thing in the future, meaning he wants kids and I do not. We both just turned 25 and we don't see ourselves, wanting those next steps anytime soon, but is this something that we just have to call quits now? Thanks so much.
I'm going to say no because, Vanessa never wanted kids. I was on the fence about kids. At 25, I wouldn't have wanted a kid. But then I feel like if you're just talking about the difference being having a child or not, man, we change our minds so much. And if you guys were both, say, in your 40s or even 50s, and one wants a child and one doesn't, that I can understand, maybe being a deal breaker or unaligned and what you want in life. But if you're 25 and you don't know, I wouldn't let that be a deal breaker. I predict that the relationship, if it doesn't work out, it won't be because one person wants a kid and one person doesn't. It will be because of, just because you're 25 or because of ruptures or tools or not repairing, other stuff, right?
I like that. That's nice. Also, I would just want to give her a little love. If you know you don't want kids and you're 25, that's legit. You don't have to change your mind. It doesn't mean that you're not sure if you don't want them. It's okay to not want them. Right?
Yeah.
Just because Vanessa didn't want them at 25 and got one and had one at 40 doesn't mean that this person will.
Sure. But you have so much time. I just feel like we change our minds. We want things we didn't know what we wanted. We want things that are different, as we grow. So.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about this is that they are in love. It's a great relationship. They're not aligned around this. Mm-hmm. And so there's no rush to break up. But at the same time, like, if he knows he wants kids and he wants them sooner rather than later, then yeah, they probably should break up.
Yeah, if what he wants is a child now, that's different because now there's pressure. That's going to directly impact the relationship for sure.
But I think she said that it wasn't now.
Yeah. This is future tripping to me. That's where I would file it. But anyway.
Well, you know what? I was gonna answer questions from guys, but let's do one more about this future tripping. Sorry guys. I love you, but this is relevant to this moment right now. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shaun and John. This is Jay, 35, calling from the southern states, and just wanted to connect real quick about distance and dating. Shaun, I know that a lot of that has been prominent in your life, but currently have been talking to someone for a couple months that we live about 2.5, 3 hours apart, and he has kids, I have kids that we co-parent and alternate weeks with, so it's something that down the road it wouldn't necessarily be possible to intertwine our lives into one household, but so far this person has presented everything that I'm looking for in a relationship. So do you continue down this path and see where it goes and potentially end up in a long-term situation to where you cannot fully mold your lives together, or do you just let it go early so that feelings aren't developed quicker and you don't get to that point? So appreciate any advice that you guys have. Thanks so much for your show. Love listening.
I'm going to take this one, John, if you don't mind.
Yes, run with
it. It's almost like your advice. We don't know what the future will hold. This seems like a great thing, right? Like he's everything she was looking for, except for the fact that he doesn't live where she lives, right? And what I'm realizing is the older I get, the rarer it is to find someone that I really vibe with, right? That is exactly what I'm looking for. Like that, I don't think that happens very often. And so I would be in this situation, if I was in her situation, I would be more likely to explore this, even if it's a long distance thing, even if we're not sure we could ever get to, like what she said, molding our lives together and having a blended family. I would continue to explore this just because it feels good and it's aligned in a lot of ways. So I'd be curious to see how this thing develops.
If I was to be brutally honest, speaking of future tripping, I didn't even hear the conversation because I was thinking about my future the next 2 days and running back stuff that I'm nervous about. And so I was trying to listen to her, and I was zoning in and out of because of my own future tripping. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just want to give you a lot of love for that, because I did that once on this show, but I didn't like admit it. And the answer that I gave had made no sense to the question that was asked. And someone on Instagram was like, the fuck is he talking about? He's not even answering the question. Why is he doing that? And that's why I did it. I fucking zoned out.
I would have done the same thing. I would have said something that was very generic and crossed my fingers that it would have flew. And then I would have felt bad about it. So I'm just going to be honest. And also, because I was future tripping thematically, it's okay. Like, it's just a reminder of how powerful that is. I'm thinking about Wednesday, and I was a lot of stress about it, and so I was running that while I was dipping in and out. I was hearing her, long distance, and some here, but I didn't get the full question, so it wouldn't be fair for me to answer.
You must have loved when I was like, "Hey, John, I'm going to take this one."
Oh yeah, I was like, perfect. I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean, I was going to do it, but go ahead, Shaun. I'll let you take this one.
Anyways, this woman met a dude. They're long distance. She doesn't think that they can ever blend their lives. They both have kids. Should she cut now, or should she explore where it might get more painful down the road?
Okay, can I just say, because I know a friend of mine, madly in love. One person's actually in Canada, one person's in LA, and they have kids. They both have kids, and so it's the fish and the moon. It's like what I mean by that is the fish and the moon could never be together. It's
is that like an old Korean like bedtime story or something?
Fucking racist. It's a idea I have for a children's book. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad about love. The fish and the moon fall in love, but they can never be together. And it's like that because when you have kids, because with the kid you also are probably co-parenting, you can't just move one day.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid, it's so difficult, and so then what you have is a long distance relationship. And it may always just be long distance, which is, I to be honest with you, I would not invest if I was single and I had a child or children and the person that I am with is long distance. Like, if I had to get on a plane to see this person, they have children and they're co-parenting and I'm co-parenting, I would cut it. I would not invest in that, because to me, there's just a dead end. Unless, and listen, other people may be like, well, why do you have to be together? Why can't you just forever be long distance? If that's what you want, then great. That's not what I want. That's not my definition of love. That's hard.
The fish and the moon, everybody.
Fish and the moon. Don't see.
They can never be together.
They can never be together.
I'm saying explore it just a little bit, see how it feels, because you never know how it plays out.
Also, listen, I don't want to say they can never be together, because, like, who am I to say that? And I'm sure there are people who are doing long distance and they're fine and they have built amazing relation. Maybe they've been together for many years and they're co-parenting. But I personally, I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless it was a non-monogamous relationship and you could,
get your needs met in other ways,
or have different partners, or what. I just define love as being able to see them, more than once every other week.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your honesty, and also, I'm pretty excited about Wednesday. You doing some shooting?
I'm filming my first pilot.
Can we talk about it, or there's an NDA, or where are we at?
We could talk about it, but I just feel arrogant and egotistic to talk about projects. Here's what I will talk about, because I think will be helpful, is the kind of the science behind it and what it means to me. That's important. So I've always wanted. In the last 7 years, I've kind of been running toward television. Partly because I've been getting signs and the phones. Hollywood has called a few times. I used to be a miserable fuck. Was bought by ABC. They were going to turn to a TV series. So I had a lot of like what ifs. I had a lot of knock on my doors, but it was a lot of ding dong ditching. I would answer the door, and so it kind of like has fucked with my mental state and also growing up in Los Angeles, being a screenwriter, it's very activating for me when Hollywood calls, right? So this project actually got greenlit, and we're filming the pilot in my garage. So we have like a director, producer. We've got 20 people coming. We've got PAs. We've got craft services. So my garage is going to be turned into a studio. They're coming tomorrow to light up the whole garage for 3 hours. And so I'm giving my body the corrective experience of like, this is what it like. The thing that I imagined didn't happen like I imagined it because it's at my house instead of a studio. But my body's going to be like, oh, this is a pilot, and this is what it's like to have a full production instead of just me playing with my phone. So I'm valuing the experience of that, just like our rooftop experience.
I mean, it sounds very exciting.
It could be very exciting. It could lead to series and a bunch of other great things. It also can be nothing but the single serving, and which is okay. But I'm nervous and excited. And, it's 2 days of shooting, and so I'm nervous because I'm hosting this thing. I'm wondering if it's going to be, there's a lot of pressure on me to make magic happen. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, if I could give you a suggestion,
of course, I'm always.
Just trust that you're good enough, and to just let it unfold naturally, and that you don't have to try extra hard.
Yeah, it's the same advice you're giving me, or maybe will remind me when we're on the rooftop at Mama's shelter, in front of
thousands
not a sea of people, but an intimate crowd, and you're gonna say, John, just trust yourself.
It's okay. People like you.
Put your pants back on. You don't have to show them anything. You don't have to dance.
Well, you're definitely not going to show us your penis.
No, because it's not
too small.
Yeah. Well, I'm a grower. I wouldn't say too small, Shaun. I wouldn't say too small. Now you're
for you.
Everyone I've been with has said it's very refreshing. They love it because it hits all the right spots. Is that a nice way of saying you got like a bad hair? Is that a nice way of saying that you're? Because when you get a bad haircut, they're like, "Oh yeah, you got a haircut."
No. I think refreshing.
That could.
That's nice.
They didn't say refreshing.
That's a cool dip on a warm day.
They said it hits all the right spots, and what I got from that is the long ones go past what it's supposed to hit. It goes past. It goes into the dark hole.
and they hit the wrong spots.
Mine knocks on doors. Mine's like in the hallway knocking on doors, and so that's what they like.
Which is like a metaphor for what you've been doing in Hollywood, knocking on doors.
Yes, that is true.
And with this experience, John, I think it's going to hit all the right spots.
Thank you. And it's going to hopefully dissolve the false belief that I'm an almost guy.
Yeah.
I can score the touchdown.
Yeah, you can.
And the touchdown looks different than what I imagined in my head. It doesn't have to be a three picture deal. It can just be a camera and some guys shooting in your garage.
Life is long, dude. There's an arc to your story.
Yeah.
And we're not at the end of the arc. We're in the middle of it. So there's a lot of life. There's a lot of life to live.
Yes. And listener, reminder for you that whatever you're going through, this may just be the midpoint or what I call an act break. This is not the conclusion of your story.
It's not. But you know what would be a sick little interlude to your story? Coming to Idlewild with John and I, February 12th, 13th, 14th for Love Thyself, a winter retreat for singles.
Yes. We're excited to have you.
Link in the show notes to sign up. And for all the Hollywood folks or the LA folks, come do the podcast with us.
Yeah. Lots of exciting stuff.
We're going to do some Q&A.
All right.
Isn't it fun? So fun.
I love that we're getting off of Zoom and doing shit in person. That's the whole point.
I've got a thing to share next week. We've shared enough. I'll share next week.
Yeah, it's 5.5 inches.
It's in. Oh, are you?
Huh?
Are you 5.5 inches?
No, you said I got a thing to share next week, and I said
that's a little longer than that. Actually, it's more like 7.
You said you were 5 and change.
The thing I'm sharing is more like 7.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it
Yeah.
is. We won't get into it, but I've been watching it. Awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's something that you partnering.
I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
everybody.
Be well. Thank you for listening.
Have a beautiful week.